What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of A&M Political Views. We are your host, Aviance Watts.
And I'm Michelle Tyson.
Okay, you guys. We're gonna get right to it. Um, the numbers are going up, y'all. Schools are about to close. Actually, two schools in Muskegon County have already closed and referred back to remote learning. Because I know one school district, which was North Muskegon Public Schools, 10% of their students, which was nearly 1,000 students, out of that 1,000, like 10% of those have had cases. So they completely went back to remote learning. Orchard View Public Schools, they had a couple of people test positive on the basketball team. And I felt so sorry for them because they was having a record setting season, y'all. And I felt so, I feel bad for anybody who, have a case, but I'm just saying in particular, they was having a record setting season. And due to the positive cases in the school and amongst the players, they had to cut their season like straight short. And, they couldn't even compete in the championship. So anyway, that's another story. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other schools start following suit because
I was about to say, I just on the news this morning, it was a press conference, and they were talking about the sports, how that most of the young folks were getting sick and they were thinking about canceling sports again because
just
of
all
that.
together.
Yeah, just all together.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, you guys, I really don't know what to say, but we just gotta, stay, on course on, everything that we need to do to, keep the numbers down. And again, like I was saying, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other schools are gonna follow suit because after spring break, because it's gonna be a lot of traveling. There's gonna be a whole lot of traveling, y'all.
Well,
And
it
people,
might be a lot of
I
traveling.
think it is. It's gonna be a lot of traveling because I mean, think about it. People been gone. People been locked down for like
Yeah, but
almost a
they've been
year.
locked down, but a lot
And
of places are shutting stuff back down. And
yeah,
I think
but this
they,
is spring break.
yeah,
Today,
but
Monday. Spring break is right now. People gone.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's
and
a lot
people.
of,
So anyway, like the numbers are kind of they kind of officials are really kind of afraid because they thinking because all this traveling is going to be a risk on the rise of like a surge, so to
mm-hmm.
speak, on cases because it's going to be a lot of interaction with people from one side of the country to another. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people going to Miami. It's a lot of people that I know right now in Miami
And they're
and
not
in Florida.
wearing a
Yeah,
mask, not social
yeah. They ain't
distancing.
they ain't practicing the proper protocol.
They was
So
already talking about the bars and then how people be in the bars. They're definitely not 6 feet apart.
yeah, and
They're
there's gonna
not
be a lot
wearing
of that.
masks.
There's gonna be a lot
So
of that.
yeah, I think a lot of that stuff gonna end up getting shut down again
Yeah.
because people aren't following protocol, and that's the only way to cut it down and to keep the numbers down. When everything was shut down, I hate to say it, we were at we had a better chance of recovery.
Yeah, because just a couple weeks ago, we was just on here telling y'all how the numbers was down. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple weeks ago, how the numbers between age 80, 60, I mean 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, how the numbers was down.
The numbers
And
are still down for like 40, well, I say for 50 and up because they're number one, they're getting vaccinated. And even some of the 40 and 30-year-olds are starting to get vaccinated, and then those numbers are going down. But I can honestly say,
but
yeah, the
the
younger
younger numbers are making it
generation
go up.
are
That's why
definitely going
a
up.
lot of schools are. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of schools, follow suit on, what some of the schools have already done, which was refer back to remote learning.
Yeah.
So and that's gonna be crazy because um at the same time while they doing this, y'all, I don't know if y'all realize, but back in on April 1st, almost a week ago, they cut unemployment. They stopped that. I mean, well, you know how you get the 300-400 a week or whatever. No,
That
they stopped
extra.
that
Oh,
April
yeah.
1st. That's gone, y'all. So
It's just back to the
yeah,
regular.
it's back to the regular. So y'all, I mean, I know y'all can't make it off 600 a month because you probably get that little 150 a week or whatever. That ain't number what $600 a month. So make a long story short, they cutting that. And I mean, now a couple of people gonna be eligible for it, but you have to. It's a couple requirements because just COVID related reasons that ain't good enough no more. Then this just Michigan. This just Michigan. I don't know about the other states, but this just the state of Michigan. Um, the only way a couple of people, I mean, you can get the federal unemployment, but the way they're doing it now is you got to qualify. You got to meet a certain guideline. Like you have to have either tested positive for it. You have to have either been exposed to it and you requesting the test, or you waiting on test results, or you having symptoms and you about to go get tested. Those probably the main the top three reasons that you won't even qualify and even get unemployment now. So it's gonna be crazy because a lot of kids going back to they gonna go back to remote learning.
Yes.
And then a lot of parents and adults, they're gonna have to go back to the workforce. But then at the same time, cases are going up. And once when we going back to work, people going back to work that wasn't, that was getting unemployment or whatever, they're going to have more interaction with people. So that's a bigger risk of people, the numbers going up again. So it's almost like a catch-22, y'all. So either way, my point is the numbers are going up, unemployment is getting cut. And you know what, for real, I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of people live their best life off their unemployment. Yeah, like the last year, they man, y'all was balling, man, from 10 to 15, $20,000 balling. Some of y'all ain't even had that much money in y'all life. So if you ain't made nothing happen with that money that y'all got from unemployment last year or whatever, that last summer or whatever, I mean, come on, man. Come on now. But anyway, but we got to keep these numbers down, y'all. Definitely. So I just really encourage everybody to, mask up, keep your mask on, keep your hands sanitized, keep a close eye on your hygiene, practice the social distancing, all that good stuff. Do the proper protocol to keep these numbers down. So, right. I mean, that's
speaking of social distancing. I want to kind of touch base on something tonight, you guys, on something that's very, very important that we don't really think that's important, but I think that it's needed to be discussed. Some of you that follow the page know about redistricting. Now, what redistricting does is each county has certain areas and certain districts. District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, District 5, District 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so forth. And if you pay attention to our districts, if you actually was able to get a map and saw our districts.
When you say district, do you mean like township or county, like Muskegon Heights?
Muskegon, yes. Say like okay. Muskegon Heights, Muskegon, Fruitport. And what it does is it's outlined in different areas. And Nancy Pagoff actually, in one of their last meetings, she actually made a motion that all the rural districts separate themselves from the urban districts. Now,
basically the white and black.
Yes. Okay. And basically what it would do is anytime that there are elections or voting, it would only be directed in one area, in one certain spot, because the Muskegon areas, if you cut it out and just gave us, we're like an L shape. Our district is like an L shape. That's basically like a boot, basically, is how I should say it.
State of Louisiana.
Right, like the state of Louisiana. And if you take the heel of that boot, which will be about this much, that'll be how much our area basically is. Like a little rectangle, basically. That's how much urban areas is, basically. Okay. And all the rest of the boot is the rural areas. So just imagine if they were able to make this happen and we would never have any say so in anything, and we would never really prosper anywhere, especially when it comes down to politics. Um, I know a lot of us aren't really into politics, but it's nice to understand it and to know what's going on in our own community. Because if we aren't staying focused or paying attention to what's going on around us, we lose the opportunity to stand up and stop things from happening. It's basically what it is it's like they're trying to take our voter rights away like they are in Georgia. And if they actually were able to get away with that motion, that meant all those different Republicans would have had a big voice. And our voices would never get heard in any of those areas. So even the little small
And
portions,
their voices get heard now, Eric.
right, and it overpowers everything that we are struggling to do right now. So, you guys, we got to start paying attention to what's going on around us. We really do. I know there are a lot of organizations right now fighting against this because it really needs to be dealt with. I'm glad that it got voted down 7-2. And those two people are two people that don't mind talking about minorities. Um, and that's sad to say, and to me, honestly, I feel like if you sit back and watch, I know everybody say, well, Larry, he gets off on all the publicity. That's fine. That's dandy, but I'm here to tell you, I don't.
It's a much bigger picture than
Right. There is a bigger picture than, him joking around or, everybody just saying, well, oh, he gets off on the attention, it's just making him, even more popular. Popular to who though?
Right. Right.
That's the bigger question.
Definitely not us.
Right.
Not me. I know not you.
It definitely,
So,
and I understand people
so
say, well, we're not gonna give him that energy. Okay, but when we don't say anything at all,
then they think it's all right.
yeah, and he's going to continue to do it. It's not about us giving him energy. It's about us letting him know, hey, that's not cool. And I'm gonna continue to say that, hey, it's not cool. We don't appreciate it as minorities. We don't find it funny. We don't find that you can hold a position and actually think that it's okay to be on social media just cracking jokes that are racist. And I don't care how much publicity this gets you. At the end of the day, some people are going to watch this and say, hey, you know what? They're right. That is wrong. They do have their own opinions and they do have a right to be angry and they do have a right to speak out on it and say, hey, enough is enough. And we're calling you out. Enough is enough. You owe every minority an apology
and an explanation.
and an explanation because to say freedom of speech, to say, oh, it was just a joke. No. If the shoe was reversed, it would be a big deal. And every committee that black man or black woman sat on, y'all would make sure that they were removed. And I think the same should be held accountable for anyone who holds an office and says anything racist, whether it's jokingly or not, openly. And one thing to do it once. It's a one time is so, okay, we can look over that a little bit. But when you are continuously doing it over and over and over and over and over again, come on now, it's no longer a joke. You mean what you say, and you know you're getting away with it, and nobody is saying, hey, you know what? You're not right. Well, today is the day. We are saying you are not right and you need to be stepped down from any organization that you are holding office on. Because if that company allows you to sit on their boards, then we feel like that company is representing the same thing and they feel the same way that you feel about us. So maybe we need to stop representing your companies.
Mhm.
And that's where it hurts.
Now, has he made any formal apologies or
No,
anything like that?
there are no formal apologies.
I know he had some couple people kind of
Yeah, a couple people speak up for him
on his
on
behalf,
his behalf,
yeah,
but
but him himself, he
him
ain't really
himself, he
came
has
out,
not came out and said,
and
you know
said this
what?
is what I meant,
Yes,
you
I don't
know.
feel that way,
Mhm.
and I commend
I
those
know,
that
I
reach
ain't,
out and say,
yeah,
hey,
but he gotta say it. I
yeah,
mean, nah,
it
forget
means
that.
it,
No, I don't want to hear what your voice. I want to hear what you got. I
right.
want to hear what you got to say. Nah, you tell me you sorry. I don't want your friends saying, man, he's sorry, man.
Right.
His bag, man. Nah, you tell me your bag. You tell us your bag. You make that formal apology. You know what I'm saying? You look us in the eye and say, I was wrong. Or even if, I mean, even if you just say, okay, I said what I said, even if you was real enough to say, I said what I said and I meant it. Whatever.
Right. We can respect you more that way. But to sit up here and say, ha ha ha, it was
And
just a
then you just
joke.
duck down and don't say nothing else, then okay, I mean, because people can take that one or two ways, really one way. It ain't really two
And to
ways you
me,
can take
he's
it.
no different than the guy that talked about um, the governor and the
Mhm.
Secretary of State in Nestle. So, I mean, and they are holding him accountable. They made him do a public apology. And I think the same thing should be done for Larry.
Mhm.
He needs to make a public apology to every minority and saying, you know what, I was wrong, I was out of line,
Mhm.
and that as a public official for the county of Muskegon, my
Mhm.
actions and behavior was unacceptable.
Yeah, because again, like I said, if it was somebody like Obama and he's saying something like, "Hey, can we still go bowling? Because you know the black ball not go all the white." Come on, man. He would have got so much heat for that.
Slammed every day.
Man, he would have
Slam
got
dunk
slammed
every
every day,
day.
and he would have been forced to make a formal apology.
Yes.
They ain't nobody even forcing this
His
man to.
his
His
public relations consultant would have had to snap on that so quick.
Yeah, he would have had to. Oh, you best believe Obama would have had to get up there and speak his own piece. Not no press secretary or not no your publisher, whoever, or your best
Mm-hmm.
friend. Man, his bad. He ain't mean it like that. No, you get up here and tell us
Right.
that. You best believe he would have been held totally accountable. And I'm saying Obama because he was a black, man of a high position. And he's saying something like that. Man, come on, man. They would have raided the Capitol back then.
Right. And
If
being
you ask
sitting
me.
on a commission is no different than being a mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you hold one of those offices, then that's,
Mm-hmm.
you are held accountable.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and that it is what it is. I think it's time for Muskegon residents to speak up and stand up
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, you know what? We live
Mm-hmm.
here. We do care what go on in our county, in Muskegon County,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's our neighborhoods or whether it's our surrounding
Yeah,
areas.
because us sitting amongst each other just talking about what they need to do ain't gonna get it. As y'all can see, we've been doing that for years. They need to fix this. They need to do this. They need to. Nah, man, we need to. Nah, everybody needs to do this.
That's right.
And they
It's all
can't hear
about
you from
stepping
right
up
here. They
now.
can't hear you talking amongst each other. They can't hear you saying it. Go out there and tell them what you give them your demand.
Definitely,
Or
yes.
or you ain't getting our vote next election.
There you
For
go.
real.
Because
Period.
we, at the end of the day, we control the vote. We
We
control,
really control everything.
yes, we the people control everything. We have the power who sits at the table. We have the power who sits and eats. We have to make that change, the necessary changes that are needed.
Mm-hmm.
So please, in the next upcoming elections,
Get
we are
involved.
definitely going to start um, announcing who is running for who, what office,
What they
what
represent.
they represent, what
All
their
that.
job requirements are, um, what we as citizens of this
Required. What we
community, yes, what
Mhm.
it requires, what
What
we
our
hold them,
demands is,
yes,
yeah.
because it's time. It is definitely time for that.
Mhm.
It's time out for the closing of the eyes, That's, no. It's
Or just
time.
being ignorant to the fact. When I say ignorant, I mean not knowing what's going on, because a lot of people of positions of commissioners and city officials or whatever, they take advantage of just the ignorance of the people not knowing
Right.
what's going on, and they can just shake and move how they want just because what you gonna do? You don't know no better. You just trusting with anything that that they do because of the position that they hold.
Or they like, well, they don't follow it anyway, so they don't know what's going on. They ain't gonna
Yeah, they ain't
research it.
involved. They don't
They
even know
don't
how the
care,
system go.
So you gotta get involved, especially within your own community, you guys. It's so very important.
Mhm.
Um,
We got any announcements? We got to make that. Oh, we do want to thank everybody who came out and supported this Taking Back Muskegon Easter Basket
definitely.
giveaway, held on April 3rd, Saturday, April 3rd. It was, oh my God, we did what, 100 and a little over 100 baskets, something like
Yes,
that.
that was so
Yeah,
wonderful.
it was
For
wonderful.
the first time, for a free basket giveaway. It was simply wonderful. We appreciate the wonderful responses.
All the support, the
Kimberly
people that came
Evans
out.
for donating that wonderful Easter
Oh yeah, that
basket
was a nice basket, wasn't
balloon for raffle. We really appreciate it.
it? Hmm.
I know there are a lot of people asking, how can they volunteer? Um, Follow our Facebook page, Taking Back Muskegon, and we will be posting up our next event.
Yeah,
And
we'll keep everybody
yes,
posted on what's gonna be
and we
going
will
on
also
next.
have open meetings for the public. So if you want to volunteer, please follow our Facebook page and
Mhm.
watch out for the link for our open Zoom meetings, because we're still going to follow social distancing. Um,
Mhm.
but if you don't mind passing out flyers, or at least making flyers,
Just sharing
just
information to the
sharing
public,
information to the public.
in whatever way needed. Yeah, we greatly appreciate that.
Yes, but we
Um,
definitely will keep you updated on our next event, which we are in the middle of making happen right
mhm.
now. So please stay tuned. Please follow our Facebook page for
And we'll
Taking
keep you
Back
posted on
Muskegon, yes, and
all
our
the upcoming
website.
events and everything that's going on. So again, we appreciate everybody's support on that because we knocked it out. We feel like we knocked it out of the park that night. I mean that day because,
Definitely.
like I said, we did what over 100 baskets.
Yes, I want to say
Um,
almost 120
yeah,
baskets.
and shout out
And
to the team.
definitely a shout
Um,
out to Timberland
yeah,
Academy for
for
that
all
wonderful
the sponsors and your
donations.
support and everything
Yes.
too. Yeah. So, and again, I can't thank the Taking Back Muskegon team enough. I mean,
I think we are
yeah,
building a wonderful
yeah,
team.
nice little team. Yeah,
Definitely
we
a
got a little all
wonderful,
star team
solid
going
team.
on.
Yes.
But yeah, so we just want to let you guys keep you guys posted on that. Again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of A&M Political Views. We are your host, Aviance Watts,
And I'm Michelle Tyson.
and we'll keep you posted. And again, you guys have a good night.